Hello, welcome to this Pilates and Stretch session for your first trimester. We've designed these workouts specifically if you're feeling a little bit icky and not your best. So they're very, very gentle, but just something you know that's really positive you can do in this early stage of your pregnancy. Breathing and focusing on something other than what's going on in your head right now is a really good thing to do to take you away from those waves of nausea. You may want to have a little snack handy that can help as well. So anything that you know you like to eat, whether it's an apple, some crackers, something like that, have them to hand because you can eat them through this if you want to. And have some water to hand as well. That's really, really important. Drinking water all the way through your workouts is essential. I also want you to have a think about how you're feeling, and if really it's better for you to have a lie down and have a sleep, then that's what you should be doing right now. So really listen to your body throughout this session. So let's start with some breathing. I'm on my knees right now. If you're not comfortable on your knees, you can sit onto your bottom. What's great about being in this kneeling position is it does bring you into a nice tall spinal position. If though you would prefer to, I've got some blocks here. You could grab something like some books and you can sit underneath them like that. So you can just put them into that position. And that can be a lot more comfortable and a good way to sit. So we're going to start off with just some breathing. So you're going to put one hand onto your abdomen and one hand onto your chest. Relax the shoulders back and down and just take some breaths for me. So inhale and exhale. And as you're doing this, focus on the feeling of your rib cage coming out to the side and back in. So draw your focus into that feeling. So inhale and exhale. Now I'm breathing through my nose and I'm using a style of breath which is the yogic style of breath. It's where you close the back of the throat. So as you inhale, breathe in through your nose. As you exhale, it's like you're bringing the roof of your mouth down and kind of widening the back of the throat, but closing it, the top of the roof of the mouth down into the bottom. And it's giving you this kind of tunneling sound. It's a really relaxing and a nice way to breathe. And again, it gives you a focus away from perhaps how you're feeling right now. So do that for me again. Inhale, exhale and relax. Now, as we're doing this, we can start to think about the core. So as you inhale, the diaphragm extends and expands, and the pelvic floor is doing pretty much the same thing. So you inhale, everything expands, the tummy expands. And then as you exhale, the pelvic floor comes up and inside you. Now, we're going to do a bit of a focus on that to lift the pelvic floor up on the inside. So as you do that now, I want you to take another breath, inhale. And as you exhale this time, relax first and then lift up through from the back of the pelvic floor into the front. So that's that stop a fart, stop a wee feeling. Drawing those two feelings in together and up inside you and feeling your belly coming in. Do that for me again. Take a breath, inhale. Exhale, relax. Lift up through from the back of the pelvic floor and into your belly. Feel those two feelings coming up and inside you, drawing up and inside you. And we'll do that one more time. Take a breath in. Exhale, relax, and then lift up from the back of the pelvic floor into the front and then just lift in through those core muscles. And what's quite nice is if you are sitting on something like some books or some blocks, you can feel your sit bones that you're sitting on. And we do this in our masterclass for the pelvic floor and in our pelvic floor workouts, which you can find in our technique focus. And this is a really good way for you to feel where the pelvic floor is, because if you're sitting on those sit bones, you can draw up and inside you and really feel that core connection. So let's do that one more time and just visualize this space from your ribs here to the bottom of your pelvis here like a drum. And as you inhale, everything expands. And as you exhale, everything draws up. So the sides come in and everything goes up and inside you. So the pelvic floor lifts up, the diaphragm comes up and inside you. And then you inhale and then you exhale and then everything lifts up and inside. Okay, so from here, we're going to grab just something to put underneath one knee. You can use a towel or a cushion underneath, or if you're on a carpet or you're on a nice soft mat, you may not need anything underneath your knee, but we're just going to take ourselves into this stretch position. And we do this in a lot of our workouts. You'll see this, and you'll also see in later workouts and in our general workouts us doing a moving stretch as well. This becomes really important later on in pregnancy to keep the body moving. For now, we're just going to hold it still, but we're also going to think about two muscle areas. and again, connecting to the core. So I want you to squeeze your buttock on the left side as you do this. So take a breath for me, inhale. As you exhale, squeeze your left buttock and lift in through your core muscles. And if you put one hand onto your belly and one hand just above your buttock and onto your buttock, so you can really feel that lift. So take a breath, inhale, exhale, squeeze your left buttock and just feel your belly lift as you connect your core. So that's that stop a fart, stop a wee feeling into your belly. Feel your belly coming away from your hand. And then tuck your elbow behind you and just look to your left as you do that. And again, take another breath, inhale, exhale, squeeze into your left buttock and lift through your belly on that side. It's good. Okay, and then we're going to change and do it on the other side. So taking something underneath your knee if you need it, and then coming forwards, and then you're going to just squeeze your right buttock. So you're using strength in your buttock to lengthen through the front of your thigh, and that's really important. So just hold this position for me. Take a breath. Use that core and that glute strength. So inhale, exhale, squeeze your right buttock and lift up through your pelvic floor and into your belly. And just allow your body to sink forward a little bit, getting that length in the front of your thigh, but using those all-important core muscles. And I'll show you why it's important to use that core strength. If I just do it incorrectly now, I'm going to really let my body sink and my back arch. Now, while it's good to get a lovely arch in the back sometimes, in pregnancy, you're going to get that anyway. Yep? The more pregnant you get, the more that's going to happen. So we don't need to exacerbate that or further it anymore by exercise. If anything, we want to counteract that. So we're keeping our muscles balanced and strong. So you're going to squeeze your right buttock, lift up through the front and come forwards, and take another breath for me. Inhale. Exhale, relax, draw the shoulder blades down, squeeze your right buttock and get that feeling of openness coming across the front of your hip as you do that. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, exhale. Lift up through the pelvic floor and into your belly, squeezing through your buttocks. Okay, we're now going to go into an on all fours position, and we're going to do a cat stretch. So this is a very common position you'll see in a lot of movements through Pilates and yoga, but we're going to do it in a way that creates a lovely flowing sequence and hopefully nice and relaxing and a nice move through your spine as well. So tuck your elbows in, and the first thing we're going to do is connect to the core. If your wrists feel at all sore, you're going to come up onto your knuckles, and you can do it that way. You can also just put something underneath your hands if you prefer, just to make it a little bit more comfortable. So you can do that as well if you prefer. It's just something to make the wrists feel better. If they feel fine, you can hold this position, and your hands are in line with your shoulders and your knees are in line with your hips. Tuck your elbows in. Take a breath for me. Inhale. Exhale, relax, and then keeping your tailbone lifted, which is this happy dog wagging its tail position, you're going to lift up through the pelvic floor and into the belly. Work the shoulder blades down. Keep your chin in. So think of the back of the neck being nice and long. And then imagine a piece of string pulling the midpoint of your spine up towards the ceiling. Now go really slowly, gradually, tucking your head and tucking your tail until your head and your tail have tucked right underneath you. You're then going to sit back, weight into your heels, put your elbows down on the floor, and then without moving your elbows or your hands, you're going to bring your body weight forward, sliding as far forward as you can and pushing up through the hands. Back into that on all fours position where you're going to engage your core muscles again. So take a breath, inhale, exhale. Lift up through from the back of the pelvic floor into your belly, tuck your elbows in, and then lift up and into your cat stretch. Lift up, tucking your head, tucking your tail as far as they'll both go, and then sitting back, getting your elbows down onto the floor, and then sliding forward, pressing the crown of the head forward and coming up and onto your hands. You're going to do that again. Take a breath. Inhale, exhale. Engage, lifting up from the back of the pelvic floor and into your belly, and then lift all the way up, and tuck and tuck and tuck. And then sit your weight back, down onto your elbows, and then slide forward, length through the back of the neck as you come forward. We're then going to, from here, go into what was called a pigeon stretch, or sometimes it's called a stork stretch. Now, again, as you go through the series, you'll notice that when we come into this position, especially when you're more pregnant, we will show adaptions. And I want you to now be very conscious of how this feels on your pelvis. you may be feeling a little bit sore, a little bit swollen around this whole area right now. It's got to feel good. And what we do throughout the series is we do kind of little rocking movements. And if you would like to do that right now, then you do that right now. If it feels good, do it, basically. Yeah? So you're just going to rock. And this helps to release tension. And that's a really nice thing to do. So if you'd like to rock it through, then you can rock it through. If not, you can just hold. And as long as everything feels okay, you can come down a little bit lower and just relax and breathe. So inhale, exhale. And the knees out to the side as you're doing this. So you can see the angle of my knee going out to the side. And just think, as you're doing this, of relaxing your upper body down towards the floor. Inhale, exhale. And do one more breath like that, breathing through. And then we're going to change legs and do the other side. So bring the left knee up, take the knee out to the side. And start to be conscious of where you might have tightness in the body. And again, if you want to rock, does it feel any different on this side to how it felt on the other side? Have a think about that. As you're doing this, do you feel anything through your pelvis? Does everything feel okay? Are you conscious of anything? Is there anything to be aware of? Any pain? Try and lessen the movement if you do feel pain. Do you have any issues in your knees? You can change your position. You can come up to a tall position. If you're happy, you can come down low. You can also change the angle of your knee. Do you need to bring it in? Do you need to bring it out? Think and feel your way through these movements, and that's really important because everybody is individual and everyone will feel slightly different. The main thing you're trying to feel is release in your hip and into your bottom. Yeah, that's what you're trying to feel. You may feel a stretch also in the front of this thigh, and you may also feel a stretch in your inner thigh. That's all good. It all needs to be lengthened. So just go with those feelings and relax as much as you can. So take a breath, inhale, exhale. And relax into your position. Do one more breath, inhaling and exhaling. And then release. I hope you've enjoyed this workout, and remember, it's all about feeling good, yep? So make sure you do. If not, make sure you have that rest, have that sleep, and drink lots of water now as well. Well done.